Salvete! Hello everybody, welcome to another intermediate sentence challenge. This is Latin with Stephen. I hope you're doing well and let's get straight into it. I'm going to display the sentence on the screen, pause it, see if you can work it out, then unpause and go through it with me guys. Alright, so should appear round about now and I'm going to read it, excuse the glare on my glasses, sorry about that. Right, bello Gallico, cum Romani in stationibus quieti tempus terrerent, Gallus quidem magnitudine atque armis insignis ante alios progressus est, quatiens quescutum hasta cum silentium fecisset, unum e Romanis per interpretem provocavit, qui secum ferro decaneret. Right, okay. Another quite a long sentence there. What can we work out, guys, here? Right, first two words, that's an ablative phrase. During the Gallic War, Gallic, that's referring to the Gauls, roughly where we have France today, Gaul. So during or in the Gallic War, whenever you're saying in a certain war, at a certain time, that's going to be an ablative. Time when, place when. In the Gallic War, cum Romani in stationibus quieti tempus terrent. In stationibus means at their posts, at their stations in a war scenario. The Romans, cum, followed by the subjunctive, is going to be when, focusing on the circumstances of what's happening, so you usually have a subjunctive. Cum Romani in stationibus tempus terrerent. Tempus, neuter, that's the accusative there. Terrere, terrere is to, in this case, to spend, or to pass the time. So during the Gallic War, when the Romans were passing the time at their posts, quieti. What is that? It's an adjective. What is it referring to there, guys? Well, it's describing the Romans. Nominative plural, Romani quieti. It's just that it's not right next to the noun. This often happens in Latin. So, quiet, at rest. Which is to say, not they weren't fighting. It was a period of quiet, it was a period of rest. So when the Romans at rest were spending time at their posts, passing the time at their posts during this war, so that's introduced a scenario. When this was happening, that's kind of the background information, cum blah blah blah, then we get the main clause, okay, because that is a subordinate clause. When blah blah blah. So a subordinate clause of time or circumstance perhaps. So our main clause is as follows. Gallus quidem. Quidem, have you come across that before, guys? This is masculine singular nominative. Quidem means a certain Gaul, a man from Gaul, a certain Gaul. Magnitudine atque armis insignis. Right, insignis is your adjective. A certain Gaul, famous, well known, perhaps remarkable for what? In what respect? We have two nouns here. Magnitudine, what's the case? Ablative singular from magnitudo. Atque meaning and. Armis, ablative plural. He was famous, renowned, notable perhaps, might be a better translation here. Notable for his, if someone's Magnus, they're big, for his size. Height maybe. I'm going to go with size and his weapons, his arms. Could maybe literally the armor, the weapons that he carries, or maybe his skill in battle. It may mean that, his skill in battle. Notable for his size and skill in battle, his ability to use arms. Ante alios progressus est. So the verb is progressus est. It's perfect tense, third person singular, a deponent verb. Progredior, progredi, progressus, some bit like the English, to progress, to advance. So the basic, what I call a bare bones, is this: Gallus quidem progressus est. A certain goal advanced. Ante alios, ante, preposition followed by accusative, before the others. So if we picture the Romans at their posts at rest, quieti, and then the Gauls perhaps some way out, making their way towards the Romans, and one of them is progressus est. He has he's gone ahead of the others. He had advanced alone, this particular one being notable for his size and his armour, his weapons. Okay, so main clause, Gallus quidem ante alios progressus est. Then we have the semicolon, and the rest of the sentence follows as thus quatiensque scutum hastar. So this is referring to this certain goal. Quatiensque, present participle, from quatio quatere, can mean to shake or to strike. In this case I would say to strike. Que is and striking, scutum, his shield. Hastar, now this is ablative singular, with his spear, by means of his spear. So the ablative often used to express the instrument, the means of something. And striking his shield with his spear, therefore creating a great noise, a racket. Cum silentium fecissat, when he had literally made silence, caused silence, which is to say, if you picture the Romans and at their posts in the camp, at rest, maybe they were having a laugh and a joke, all of a sudden he shut them all up by making this din. Alright, so as he shakes or strikes his shield with his spear, when he had made silence, brought about silence, which is to say got everyone's attention, unum e Romanis per interpretem provocavit, verb provocavit, from provocare, to provoke or perhaps to challenge. He challenged. What or whom did he challenge? Accusative, unum e Romanis, one of the Romans. He challenged one of the Romans, per, plus accusative, through, by means of an interpreter. Challenged him to what? Qui secum ferro decaneret. So he challenged one of the Romans, basically who should, or we would say to, basically means to fight with him, to decide the matter by the ferrum. Ferrum is iron, it means the sword. Secum, with him. So literally he challenged one of the Romans who should battle, decide the matter with him by sword. Ablative singular again, ablative of instrumental usage, the agency, so by the sword. What it means, of course, is he challenged one of the Romans to a sword duel. He challenged one of them to a contest by sword. So there we go. That's our sentence, fairly complex. A few different grammatical rules in there. So I hope you managed to follow that. If there was anything tricky, I hope I've managed to clarify it. And do let me know if you've got any further questions about that, or perhaps you could in the comments, maybe you'd like to provide your own little translation, your own rendering when you've thought about it, and not just done it off the top of your head like I have here, and perhaps you can come up with a nice version. I'd love to read them. So there we go, guys. I like to keep these short and sweet, so that's our sentence challenge of the day.